Welcome to Island Canvas. This is Steve Cunningham, a local artist out here in Jamaica with 20 years of experience in fine art. And I have a beautiful piece of artwork to introduce you all to today. Stay tuned to the video. This is a tribute to Bob Marley, right? We're going to show you all the way from the beginning stage. So this is me now prepping the canvas, and I'm using some thumbtacks, as you can see there. So the reason why I'm using thumbtacks basically is just my preference, personal preference. It's quick release. You can use your staplers, as a typical way to do it, right? So what I'm doing here is I'm stretching opposite sides first, right? You want to do that because you want some tension on it, right? That's me there beating the middle of the canvas. It's supposed to be like a drum. That's the amount of tension that you want on the canvas, so you can get a better workflow. So this painting now is, as I said before, is a painting of Bob Marley as a tribute. And Bob Marley has been a pioneer in reggae music and an hero for some. However, we never see Bob Marley and any money or anything that represents Jamaica in a way that he should, you know what I mean? So my aim is to immortalize Bob Marley, right, just like the other heroes on the paper money out here in Jamaica. Right, so you leave the corners of the canvas for last, right, and any extras that leave over, then we're going to use scissors to basically trim. It's all about neatness, right? So once we do that, I will get everything well set, then we're on to the priming stage, and everything seems to be okay. So just trimming up the back, making it neat. And this is not my bed paper, I tell you. This is not my bed, so don't cover me. Right, what I'm doing right here is I'm actually on the veranda, you know what I mean, and I'm just spreading a piece of job cloth that I normally use on my lawn chair, right? So we want to get all of the surface of the canvas covered. I want to do that equally, right? So we'll make sure every single part is already coated, and we do this. We repeat this process about 3 times. I would recommend 3 times. So we'll use some dresser, and you sand between time with roughly a 120 sandpaper, depending on the grade, So yeah. So I change the color of the canvas, and then I add some molding paste. So that's me putting on the molding paste, right? It's going to give it a bit of it's going to give it some texture, and basically change the color because I didn't want too much light to basically show through the canvas. So I darken it a bit. So once the molding paste dry, we're going to prime it again. That's what it looks like when the molding paste and the primer goes on. And if you run your hand gently over it, you can feel the texture. And that is what we really need to get into the painting. That this is beautiful, man, because you can feel the texture with your hand. Alright, so everything coming along. Alright, so the textures are there. We're getting ready. I think we're halfway to the painting right now, whether you want to believe it or not, because the preparation stage is one of the most important. So I personally would consider it halfway. Now this is the part where we're going to put on the colors. Alright, now once the colors go on, there's a method what we use to put the colors on, and this method I'm not going to show or divulge much, but it gives you the illusion of texture. Now there is texture because we apply the molding paste on it, so it's basically just beautiful patterns along with textures. Alright, so this is the stage we've been waiting for. Now this is the blackening stage. So what we're doing, we're just putting in our mid-tones. Alright, so what we're doing, we're basically using one color, which is phthalo green, and we actually put white in it to get it a little bit lighter, and actually add red to it to get it a bit darker. So red is a complementary opposite of green, so we use that to basically darken the color, and that's for the dark areas. And the light areas now we'll just use the phthalo green with the white. So we're using, well, one color, but you said three colors basically to get the image in a three-dimensional form. All right, where every value is right on point and okay. Right, now let me say this. I remember starting this painting, with a mix of hope, right, and a bit of fear to bring Bob Marley to life, right? Not just as a legend, but as a symbol of freedom, struggle, resilience. Like a 3,000 bill carrying basically a dream, but it have its ups and downs, because this painting, it wasn't coming on easy as I thought it would. There were nights with a whole heap of doubt in mind, right? When each brush stroke feel like, it's not working, and colors feel like a weight on your mind, and actually there was a moment when the face didn't emerge, as I thought. I thought I wasn't capturing the spirit, the spirit of Bob Marley. I wrestle with a lot of things, man. All of a sudden, things just feel off. This wasn't the image. Everything seems to be going downhill. The numbers were black. I wasn't feeling the silver bird, and it was just all over the place. But there was something spiritual in the eyes that bring me to the knowledge that, look, settle, calm down. It's gonna be a beautiful piece, right? And all of a sudden there was, as we put in the birthday, February the 6th, 1945. You can feel the rhythm, the reggae vibe, hope, you know what I mean? And you're beginning to see it all come together, right? It's a testimony for every dreamer out there, who has ever struggled, every artist who has ever fought, to bring their work to perfection. So as we go along this journey, painting this iconic, piece of one of our legends, it's a journey. Every ups and downs, every lows, every highs, is always beautiful. I don't regret the struggle of painting this painting, because to me the experience was everything, and the end result is more than I could ever ask for. So this is my piece, my tribute to the great legend Bob Marley. As you can see, everything worked out in the end. Everything come together, right? So this is just a testament, man. Look, it doesn't have to be perfect. Behind the curtain, we know that all art pieces has its struggles. Subscribe to the channel, share the video. Thanks for watching.